The Sumerian Warning. A friend of mine called me the other day, said he'd been invited to a seance. Some guy he worked with's wife was into these things, and there was this one psychic that she and her friends would see. He jokingly told her to tell him to give her the names of some horses. She asked what race, and he told her a couple. And the horses picked by the psychic were the ones that won. Since he didn't believe the guy, that's why he didn't bet. And she said the psychic only told her the names of the horses because he knew that he wouldn't believe him and therefore wouldn't bet. So it was only for proof of what was to come, not any kind of short-term money-making scam. Anyway, my friend's buddy had been telling him the psychic had been having some very strange dreams, that a very ancient spirit was getting close and needed to deliver a message. It sounded like an interesting enough setup, so I decided it might be worth seeing. When we got there, there were at least a couple dozen people. It was dark and everybody was holding candles. The psychic was seated facing directly toward me, and on his left and right and in front of him were 3 other ladies. Presumably one was his friend's wife. Finally, the people stopped trickling in and the room became quiet. The psychic started speaking. Most people don't understand the chaotic nature of what is behind the veil, and it has been getting darker and much more sinister. And I fear the veil is no longer enough, that the negative energy from the other side will finally come through. That's why I have been relentlessly contacted. I don't know what the message will be, nor if I will even survive its delivery. But when my voice changes, listen very carefully. When my voice changes, it is no longer me speaking, but the spirit that has been contacting me. And when my voice changes, these words you will hear will only be spoken once. He started shaking, and the 2 ladies on either side of them that were holding his hands quickly withdrew them as if suddenly painfully hot.
You do not know who I am. You will not know, or will you remember this. But the agony that is coming will be relentless and permanent. The last we walked the earth was during the time of the Sumerians, a civilization that rose up without precedent, helped by our dark forces. Promises were made, and now they will be collected. We will come, and we will see you long before you see us. We are watching you now. These words that you are listening to will flow into your mind. They will resonate within your neurology to mark you, to send a signal to the dark forces, to consume you, to enjoy your pain. The Sumerians who promised us the future souls of humankind have reigned for thousands of years. The blessed ones, the evil ones who pull the strings behind every society. The reign has now come to an end, and as promised, we are here, and we will rule for 10,000 years. 10,000 years of pain, of anguish, of chaotic horror.
It was quiet for a little bit, and then the guy slumped down on the table. A few people in the room fainted. I don't know if this was a trick or some kind of mental disorder, but my friend later said his buddy at work quit, unexpectedly and without reason. Curiously, we drove by his house where the seance was held, and it had all kinds of police tape all over. We didn't see anybody, and as far as we could tell, there were no official records. I never was a big fan of seances. They can open doors that can't be closed. Doors you should never go near, let alone open.